There we go. Recording.
Recording. Okay. So you left it up to me to pick the question, right? Hey. Well, I like this one. It says, where is that? Define. Oh, what is the defining factor for why people should work with you over other Beachbody coaches? Is that your favorite question?
No, but you asked me something I'm not going to cry about.
Well, all right. Give me time.
Okay. I'm kidding. Okay, I love that question actually, because I do think that there are things that set me apart from other coaches. Number one, my age bracket. I think that I'm looking to work with people that are my age or within my age bracket that are struggling with the same things that I am. Number two, I'm not afraid to share about those things. I can never be like, oh, that's TMI. I don't care what you tell me. I've been in healthcare for 15 years. And I have horses, which means that I've seen and heard everything at this point. And so I don't really care what people share with me. And I'm also not shy about sharing with other people. Like, I'll talk about poop all day long. I'll talk about hormones. I'll talk about hot flashes. I don't care. Like, I'm so open about that stuff. And I feel like it's something that people don't want to talk about until they've heard about it, until they see somebody else talking about it. They're like, oh, it's like the mirror neuron thing. Like, oh my gosh, I can totally talk about that with her. Like, I have never met this girl I talked to the other day. Her husband actually reached out to me, who's been a friend of mine for since fifth grade.
Wow.
And he reached out to me and said, my wife really wants to lose weight, and I would like for you to talk to her. And I said, okay. I've never met her before.
Mm-hmm.
They met in Georgia or something. And so I talked to her for an hour and a half. But, I opened up and I just said, she's 43, I'm 46. And we talked about kids and what it does to your body and how hormones are changing and how her belly looks. And I talked about that first. And then she was like, oh yeah, well, my gosh, that's my big problem. But, I'm not afraid to share any of that stuff. So I feel like it's really easy for people to relate to me on that sort of stuff that's age related. I'm not going to be able to work with a 26-year-old, and I don't want to. I've tried working with girls that are in their late 20s, early 30s, and I'm not relatable to
You don't have stretch marks yet.
I'm not relatable to them. They don't get it. And I don't understand them, because I'm so far out of that place that I don't even remember what I was like then. That was a long time ago,
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's helpful. I'm pretty motivational, I think, and I'm really good one-on-one. So when people are having a hard time or they're struggling with something and they really feel comfortable reaching out to me and saying, hey, can we hop on the phone for a little while? I need some help. Or if somebody is falling off in the challenge group, and I'll send them a message and say, what's going on? And they'll be like, oh gosh, and like, okay, let's find a time. Let's get on the phone. I'm not going to do this by a text. I'm not going to do it in a Facebook message. Let's get on the phone and talk. And I think people find that really helpful. So I think and I think that comes across when I first meet them, whether it's on a phone conversation or whatever, that comes across really quickly, that I'm always available and I'm happy to help. And I do say that multiple times in emails and messages. And, I say, I'm always available. I'm happy to help. Just reach out to me and we'll find a time to talk. So there's that. My accountability groups are pretty active, and we have lots of people that post in them. So I think that's a plus. And I feel like that's a strength, is actually my accountability groups are a strength of mine, because I need to get my computer hooked up to a fan, because they're active and there's people in them, and there are people posting and talking and asking questions. And I've had so many people. I noticed the other day that I have a friend, she's actually a discount coach, who she did, what did she do? She posted something on Facebook about her third autoimmune disease. And one of my people from Texas that I have known forever, this is somebody that lives here who is in her early 30s, but this is a friend of mine that I have known forever. Like, she lived down the street from me. And she's 5 or 6 years older than me. She actually responded to her. This was not in the challenge group. This was on this girl's wall. So clearly they're friends on Facebook. And I feel like my people really connect to each other in the accountability group, and it really develops support. And I think that that's huge.
What would you say that you have done in your groups to facilitate that?
Honestly, don't know. I think it's my posting. I think it's what I'm posting in there and continuing to tell them over and over again, you guys, if you have a question, put it in the group because somebody else has that question, I'm sure. And then I really encourage them to, when they do post, like let's say somebody posts their accountability for the day, I encourage everybody, like, go look at that, like it, comment on it. If they had a crappy day, give them a suggestion. Like, you know, be a team here. And they really respond to that. So that's good.
How many people do you normally have in your groups, Kim?
Well, the group is about 75 people, but they have, there's probably about 12 to 15 at any one point in time that are commenting regularly.
Okay. And those are all your challengers, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And some of them are discount coaches.
And some of them are, so some of them have been with you a long time, and then you've got your newbies in there too, right?
Yep. Yep. And everybody goes into the same group. I don't have separate groups. Like, I don't say, okay, we're going to do a 21-day fix group. I don't do that. All my groups are it's just the challenge group or the accountability group. I keep calling it accountability group. That seems to be more relatable to people.
So you run it like 24/7, 365 days a year?
Pretty much, yeah. We usually, like, we'll do a group. Like, I think there's 12 days left in this one. So what is that? End of October. So I think this one ends on the 30th, I think, or something.
Monday?
29th. I don't know. It doesn't. I don't even do it.
29th is Sunday, yeah.
Yeah, I think it ends on that Sunday or the Monday, the 29th maybe. And then I'll probably take that week off. The next week off, we usually take like a 4 or 5 day break and then start up again.
Okay.
But the people don't stop posting their accountability in there. They keep going. They don't stop. It doesn't stop. It just, my posting stops. My motivational posts and videos and all that just stops for that time.
So do you have your groups set so that others can, we have our groups set so that only the admins can post and everybody else puts theirs in the comments?
No, I have it open to post.
Okay.
I think it encourages people to post, so I don't restrict that at all. The other thing I think that's unique about me is that I'm a medical librarian. I've been in the field for a long, long time, and I'm really good at research, and I read everything. So my knowledge base is pretty good, and I stay up on nutrition and fitness. Like, that's my thing. That's my jam. I read it when I go to the bathroom.
Like, if you had to say what your forte was as far as the whole medical research area, because that's pretty broad. Yeah. You froze all of a sudden.
So did you. Oh. Back? There you are.
Okay. What would you say? I mean, because so is a doctor of medical research, and so are a lot of people in medical research. So what would you say are your areas of strength that you can connect with other women as far as your medical research goes?
Well, my job and what I actually do for fun are two different things. So my job, I do a lot of research in orthopedics and cancer. But that certainly isn't something that I'm interested in when I leave work. So in terms of my personal stuff, it's fitness and nutrition. It's exercise science, exercise physiology, and nutrition. Specifically, vegetarianism, veganism, that sort of stuff.
You're a vegetarian, right?
33 years.
33 years. How did that start?
When I was 13 years old, or almost 13 years old, we were driving through kind of the backwoods of Texas, and we drove by a factory farm for cows.
The CAFOs?
Huh?
The CAFOs?
I don't know. It was just a factory farm, but it was cows.
Okay.
and it smelled really bad. And I just saw these cows just smushed all together. And I was like, wait a second, what is that? I asked my dad, I'm like, what is that? And he's like, oh, that's a factory farm. That's where we get our beef from. And I said, and I will never eat beef again. And then I started, and I didn't. So I came back from that trip, and like 2 weeks later, it was my birthday. And I just said, no, I'm not ever eating animals again. And ever since then, so it was a moral thing. I did it. I originally was a moral vegetarian. That's what they call them. I've been vegan before. I've been vegan for 7 years at one point in time. But I eat dairy products and eggs and honey. So I'm not a vegan anymore. But I've been a vegetarian for 33 since I was 13, 46, 33 years.
Do you take extra B?
No, I don't actually. I take a lot of other things, but not that. I take iron.
Okay.
I don't have a B vitamin deficiency. When I have my blood done every 6 months for my thyroid and some other weird stuff that my body does.
Yeah.
And when I do get my B vitamins done, they're never low. My vitamin D levels are low, so I take vitamin D, and my iron sometimes is low, so I take a vegan iron supplement. But for the most part, I don't really have any major deficiencies. Iron is a big one for me.
Okay.
But my electrolytes are fine. I mean, everything else is fine. My B vitamins have always been fine. Go figure. I know. I think it's because I eat dairy and eggs, though. Eggs are really high in B vitamins.
I'm thinking more vegan. You're right.
Yeah. There's a ton of B vitamins in egg yolks. And I eat eggs like, I don't know, 4 or 5 times a week. And I eat the whole egg. So
yeah, I eat eggs every day.
I think that's what saves me. Yeah.
Yes. But, almost every day. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you say it, so the area of your strength is more exercise science, you think, as far as
my information, in terms of what information I have and what I can share with people in terms of what, and I think the other thing that is a strength for me is that I really am good at helping people pick workouts that work for them. And that is based a little bit on exercise science, but it's also based on listening to people and what they like and don't like and what they can and can't do. Buddy, you need to leave in like 5 minutes. Sorry.
That's okay. What would you say, Kim, has
Nathan!
been your big...
Sorry, I'm yelling. Hold, please.
Did you respond?
Nathan! You need to leave in like 5 minutes. Sorry.
What would you say since you said that that's one of your strengths, finding workouts, what would you say was your biggest challenge in finding a workout for someone that would help you? Well, just answer that first, and then I'll go with my second part of my question.
I mean, have I had people who had trouble finding a soul workout, like a soulmate workout? Is that what you're wondering? Yeah, I mean, I have. I've had people who are like, I hate that workout. I think my biggest challenge with people in terms of what they want to do and what they should do is a lot of asking a lot of questions on my part and then figuring out what their goals are. But, some people aren't always truthful in terms of what they do and don't like to do. Like a lot of people will say, and I catch people doing this all the time, like somebody will say, I hate cardio. And I'm like, sweet, we're going to do a cardio workout. Me too. I do too. And I did actually hated cardio until I did T25 about 5 years ago. And I was like, well, I kind of like cardio. This is fun. But I challenge people and try to get them to do things that they don't love, because the reason why it works is because their body's not used to it. So somebody who says, I hate cardio, means that they're doing stuff that's not cardio. I've got the majority of my people say, I hate lifting weights and I don't want to get big. And I'm like, okay, great. We're going to do hammer and chisel.
It's such a myth, isn't it, that you get big?
Is.
Like I've been doing weights for like 2 years. And
right. You're before. Are you kidding? Right. No goals there.
Like, I need to learn how to do these push-ups.
Right. And I mean, like when I first started doing Beachbody workouts, it was 12 years ago, and I couldn't do one push-up on my hands. I couldn't do it. And I was an exerciser. I went to the gym. I had a trainer, but I couldn't do a push-up.
Was it because you had never tried?
Yep. It's because nobody ever told me to. So I had never built those muscles up. And this morning I did 25, 45, 50, 60, 82 push-ups in a workout.
I find that
All on my feet.
I rarely see a woman do a push-up correctly.
Yeah, that's true. My son was ragging on me this morning.
I can probably pump out 100 push-ups right here, normal, but I'm not going all the way down to where my.
Oh, I'm not either. I'm not either. No. Right.
Like you see men do them, and I'm like,
my shoulders won't do that. Like my shoulders physically won't get that low. They're crappy. But so I like to challenge people. I like to ask them a lot of questions and figure out, so I ask them, what are your limitations? What kind of fitness do you like to do and what's worked for you in the past? What do you not like to do? And then those questions usually get me an answer. And I can say, okay, well, this is what we're going to do. And then when you're done doing it, let's talk. Now, the one workout I have to tell you, I don't know, I hope this doesn't ever go public, but that I have trouble getting people into is Chalene Extreme. And I love that workout for a lot of reasons, because it helps women enjoy lifting weights, but they think it's boring. I love it. I think it's great. But I have trouble getting people into that. That's the one workout that I've had people come back to me, 2-3 weeks in saying, I can't do this anymore.
Why?
Because they're bored. They're like, this is so boring. I can't do that. I don't like it. And I'm like, okay, fine. So I put them on hammer and chisel usually if they do that. And then they like that. But, another strength of mine, I guess I would say, is that except for Insanity the Asylum, I have done every single Beachbody workout.
Wow.
Completely. And many of them multiple times. So
how long have you been a coach?
3 years.
That's amazing.
Patty and I joined about a week apart.
Really?
She joined almost exactly a week after I did.
And you joined under Shay?
No, I had a previous upline.
Oh, that's right. I know the story.
But let's see. No, I've been a customer though for about almost 12 years. So,
whoa.
Yeah. The funny thing is that, and it's not funny, it kind of pisses me off, but I had emails, I had phone calls, multiple emails, multiple phone calls from corporate years ago saying, we think we're going to start a coaching network. Would you like to join? You've been a loyal customer for a really long time.
And?
I said, no, thanks.
Wow, girl.
Idiot.
Why? Why do you think you did that?
Because I was busy. I had little tiny kids. Well, I had
like most of the Beachbody coaches are either about to be preggo or just gave birth. I mean, look at what's her name that was just on the call. Ashley.
Yeah, I know. But at the time, I was overwhelmed, and I was like, I don't need to do that. I'm fine. Okay, go. See ya. Let me know when you're there. So I thought, I don't need this. Doofus.
Yeah, all that commission that you could have been. Yeah.
And all that team cycle, because I'd have been at the top.
What kind of
customer that long?
Yeah. All right. So let me say this back to you and see if I understand. What makes you unique? I like that word, defining. How do you feel equipped? No. What's the defining factor for why people should work with you? So that I want you to narrow it down to the defining factor. So I have your age, which I need a little bit more clarification on that, because I don't go with my age. I go with how people feel.
Okay.
Because there's people at my age that feel 30, people at age 30 that feel 50.
Yeah.
Anyway, that the fact that you are open and honest and you'll share all the nitty gritty. You're very motivational, especially when you're working one-on-one.
Can you let the dogs in? You're
very available. You make yourself very available. And you're always happy to help. In your groups, your accountability groups are a real big strength of yours. Your whole medical research background and exercise science background translates into helping them with their nutrition and their exercise. And you've done almost all the workouts. So out of all that,
one thing.
Well, It doesn't say one thing. It says defining the defining factor. So that might already be on your banner. I don't know. No, that's that feel that you're going to give people, right?
Let me look at my banner real quick. That's a good question, because I feel like I need to change the words on my banner a little bit, but okay. My banner says, feel awesome again, find your tribe, make fitness fun.
Feel awesome again, find your tribe, make fitness fun. You didn't talk about the fun at all.
It's true, I didn't. Maybe I should change that. Maybe I'm not fun.
No, I would definitely say you're fun.
Yeah, I think so too. I think everybody says that about me all the time. They're like, oh my gosh, you're so much fun to hang out with, or you're fun to talk to, or, you know.
Mm-hmm.
They do say that my accountability groups are fun. Okay, defining factor. How about this, if we have to pick one? And based on my thing, I think my whole reason for being a coach for other people, other than my own freedom, okay, so that's a separate why, but the reason why I coach other people is because I want them to feel as good as I do.
Wow, that's awesome.
That's it. And I say that all the time. But that's why I said feel awesome again. Like that's what so that is my that would be my defining factor, because I can help you feel awesome again. I can help you feel as good as I feel right now. Some of the time, not all the time, because life's not like that.
Now, so out of all of these things, these are all positive things.
Yes.
What kind of struggles would you say? Because I'm just trying to go a different angle to get you to hone in on this. What kind of struggles would you say that you've been through, or that you are currently going through, that help towards this defining factor as to why people should work with you as opposed to Melissa McAllister or Jessica Pizzola or anybody else? Because I don't know your struggles.
This is Patty and I talk about this a lot. I'm not a struggly kind of person. I even just boxered her and I was like, I'm going to send a message to Social Team Builder on Facebook message that says, I don't know, Mason, that's not my problem. I have not touched them, bud. This is again, not my problem.
But Mom, you know it all.
Right.
You're going to message Social Team Builder
I was going to message Social Team Builder and say, can you guys put somebody on a call that doesn't have a tragic story, please? Because I don't have a tragic story. I don't have a bad upbringing. I don't have bad parents. I didn't get raped. I didn't, try to kill myself at some point in time. I've never had suicidal thoughts.
You don't suffer from anxiety and depression.
I do have anxiety. I have had panic and anxiety disorder, and I'm OCD since I was 22.
Well, there you go.
But I see the thing is, I don't see that as a struggle so much, because I do. It's okay. Sorry, don't know what to tell you. I don't see that as a struggle so much because I've been through it and I'm on the other side of it, and I don't really like to look back at it because it's not productive for me. But I share all the time about my anxiety, not all the time. I share occasionally about my anxiety and panic disorder. And I'm about to do it again because I went through something this morning that blew me away, actually. And I finished what I was doing and hugged my horse and gave her a kiss and started crying, because something that it just dawned on me that, used to be everything about me was, well, what if this happens? And it might be something that was 20 years down the road, or a week down the road, or a day down the road. And I'm not there anymore. Now I can say, I don't do that anymore at all, ever. I've been through a lot of counseling, but I don't do that anymore. I just don't go to the what ifs. It happens occasionally, but it doesn't happen that often. But this morning, I was having a really hard time doing an exercise with my horse that she didn't want to do either, that she thought was really difficult because she had never done it either. She's green and young, and she had never done it. I had actually never done that exercise with any horse. And I was struggling to do the exercise, and so was she, and she was bucking and kicking and trying to get me off of her. And then my trainer had to get on her and fix it. And then I got back on her and realized that it was a mental problem for me, that I was having trouble controlling her. It had nothing to do with my physical abilities. It was all mental. But the thing that I learned was my trainer was like, you are so worried about what's going to happen on the other side of the exercise that you can't just be in the exercise. You can't be in the moment right now because you're so worried about what might happen over here. These things were this far apart. They were 15 feet apart. So the place where the exercise started and the place where the exercise ended was 15 feet apart. And to me, I was like, you know what? I have gone from being, what if this happens 20 years down the road, to what if this happens a week down the road, to what if this happens a day down the road, to not doing that anymore, but getting to the point where I'm like, what if this happens in 15 feet? But that's how far I've come. To get to the point where I'm like, I'm so worried about that 15 feet, but I'm not worried about what happens after that or what happens before that. That was a huge thing for me. But then to get through that and to get through it and say, I don't really care what happens between here and here. I just want to be here in this step, and then in that step, and then in that step. And to get through it with my horse and to get her to do the same thing and think, okay, well, we're not going to worry about what happens over there. We're both thinking what happens in step 1, step 2, step 3, and then we're done. And for me to get that far was huge. It's a huge deal as today. So I was actually going to talk about that in a live thing.
I would definitely do that.
Yeah, I'm going to.
That translates over to nutrition.
Everything. It translates to everything.
Yeah.
And it's not to say that oh my gosh, check me out, I've come this far, but I mean that's huge to me, that because my trainer was like, where's your brain right now? And I said, my brain is on the other side of that fence when my horse jumps out of the arena and I'm trying to stay on. That's where my head is. And she's like, why are you there? And that hasn't even happened. She hasn't even tried to do that. Back up. And so she put me in that space where she said, no, you're here in this step. And then the next step, you're here in that step. And then you're here in that step. So I now have gotten to the point where I'm not, and that's why I told her, I said, I am afraid of what's going to happen after the third step. And she said, no. It was huge.
Did you get back on and it worked?
Yeah, it did work. I got back on and it totally worked. And that, like something like that would have taken me years to overcome. And for me to overcome that in the course of a 45-minute private lesson, and really in the course of about 10 minutes, really from the time she figured out what was going on to the time that I got back on my horse was like 10 minutes, was huge. And, and I guess the fact that it was my animal that got me. Okay, now this is what makes me cry. We didn't think this was going to make me cry, but that my animal got me through that my sweet little pony was scared too and didn't want to do it. We were both scared. We were both nervous and we didn't want to do it, but that we did it together. That she didn't get through that. Like she didn't get through it without me, and I didn't get through it without her. We did that together.
Look at that.
And horse riding in general has turned me into a completely different person, because you cannot be on a horse and be in a different place in your mind. You will get hurt for sure. You have to be in the moment. You have to be at that time right there and what's happening, or you will get hurt. Especially
Did you go live today with your horses?
No, I didn't, but I'm going to. I've got a list of things that I'm going to go live with.
I was waiting. I was hoping you would do the injection.
I know. I did this morning. I did a thing about sisterhood and about. I actually did it in the Refinery Diamonds first, and then I went live on my page because Tracy was like, "You have to do that live on your page," and so that's what I did. So I was going to do my horses.
I'll have to go back and look at it.
But I was on Friday when I go out to feed the horses, I'm actually going to do it because they're a riot when they're getting fed. They make all these funny noises and they're so cute.
Well, I was looking for the injection one, the live, because you said you had to, they had to have injections, I think today or something. And
yeah, they did.
Where would you, like, I know for a dog where you inject, I wonder where they stick a horse.
In the neck.
Ouch.
Yeah.
They probably don't even feel it.
They have a lot of muscle right there. So
yes.
They have a lot of muscle in their neck and a lot of muscle in their butts. Everything else in the middle is fat. I'm just kidding. My horses are chubby. But yeah, so that was a big deal, and I feel like that's a thing that I can relate to people with, because I think there's a lot of people out there who struggle with anxiety that won't talk about it. And I do talk about it. I'm not shy about it at all. And I think, you know, in the Christian world, I think the reason why I have anxiety, I think God gave me anxiety purposely so that I could get over it and share it with other people and help them.
Well, to me, right there, Kim, is what it's all about. I mean, no, you didn't maybe have some major tragic thing, but what you've just told me and all that you've come through, just because you're at the other end of it now, it doesn't make it any less huge to me.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I don't think it's, I just wish they would have somebody on there like me and like Patty who, and maybe you, who just have had a normal life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, they keep putting these people in there that have these huge tragic stories. And it's like, oh my gosh, we're not all like that. I think there's more of us that aren't.
What about that lady that's I think she's like 58 or 59, that doesn't wear makeup and she's not like a blonde bombshell. She shares a lot.
Oh, I think I've seen her.
I don't think she's had anything tragic.
Yeah, I just want them to put somebody on one of their hangouts that isn't tragic. Come on, people. Put somebody that has a normal life, that has always had a normal life, that hasn't had huge, horrible things happen that they have to overcome. I mean, come on, give me a break. I just need some guidance there. Like, I really want them to do that because I just feel like it's not helping us to keep putting people up there that have these major stories to talk about. I just don't have that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm okay with that.
Why don't you go for it?
I am. I'm going to send them a personal message.
You might, like, if you just put it up there in the group, you might get a lot of people saying the same.
I'm afraid of Todd.
Oh, are you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I put my, like, in the critique group thing, I put my page up there, like, a couple days after we started, and he was like, you can't do this yet. And I'm like, oh my gosh, they told us to. He, like, totally ripped on me.
Really?
Yes, and I'm totally afraid of him now. And I've seen the comments he puts on other people's things, and I'm like, dude, he's kind of mean. So I don't want to post it in the group because I feel like he's going to rip me up. So I'm just going to
just ignore his comments and wait for like Stephanie Daniels or
yeah, I like her. I actually really like her. I like both the Stephanies.
Me too.
And I like Jamie too, or Jessie Burr, Coach Burr.
Yeah.
She's good. And I love the girl. I've listened to that hangout from today twice now.
I haven't listened to it because I was doing something with Nico, and then I went back to find it, and I'm like, scrolling.
It's there. I've listened to it twice.
Why doesn't he pin that?
I don't know.
I searched. It's really live hangout. I couldn't find it. I scrolled and scrolled and scrolled, and I couldn't find it. I'm like, what the heck? This is just from today at 2:00.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was really, really good. It was super. And the girl today was like a normal. She's Hispanic, but she's a normal girl. Like, she's a normal person, and
as opposed to abnormal.
Hey, well, just has a normal life. Like this girl that they had on that they interviewed the other day for an hour, Jamie. I don't remember her name.
Yeah, the blonde. Yeah,
beautiful story. Not typical. Like that, I'm like, guys, throw me a bone here. Give me a typical.
Well, I don't know if when they're picking them, how do they know?
I don't know that.
They don't really.
They may not have known that. I don't know. They may not have known that.
Digging. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's.
They said they were picking them at random, but.
Are we all going to get picked at one point?
There's so many people in this group.
I know there is. So how are we going to, like, I was wondering if Shay should start something.
What do you mean?
But we don't have time. I don't even barely have time.
We've got so much going on.
Yeah.
And they just released Module 3 today.
I've already been in Module 3.
Oh, that's right. You've been doing this for a while. Yeah. So I got excited about that. But I feel like I need to work on my story a little bit more on my like page. And before, I feel like I need to just put that to rest. It's sucking. I'm in some trouble.
What do you mean your story? You mean your avatar, or your description?
No, my description. I'm pretty happy with my avatar. I just need to work on my description some more. And I
say you a lot.
I got a lot of great information from today's hangout. That's why I listened to it twice.
How much? You've got what? How many likes do you have on your like page?
740 or something. And they suck.
I have 200.
But they suck. They're not meaningful 700.
Oh,
They're not, just FYI. Oh no, maybe it won't. I thought it would cut off at 40 minutes, but maybe it won't.
okay.
I don't have the expensive
Yeah, I don't either.
okay. But let's see. What were we talking about? Oh, the description? Oh.
Yeah, but you said you need to work on your description.
So I'm going to do that tonight. I'm going to I hopefully land on something that makes sense, that doesn't sound like an infomercial.
I know, and mine, the hard part, I think, is making it small.
Marissa, I liked what Marissa said. I liked hers, and it was short and sweet and cute, which is exactly like her, which I love because I know she's short and sweet and cute.
She is.
You know, and I think that if I could write something that just I can't think of the word, that is me, I'm still sucking at it. So I'm going to work on that. So I wanted to work on that tonight before I start module 3, and then I was going to start listening to module 3. But I won't let myself do that until after I've finished the stupid frickin' description. And I listened to the thing that he put up. He did a little 12-minute video a couple days ago, Jesse Reagan,
On what?
On your description.
Okay, I haven't seen that. There's just so much in
I know. Well, every time something comes up that I like, I save it. I save it, save it to your saved stuff in Facebook.
Oh, do
you? I
go
back to my saved thing and start just busting through stuff.
That's smart.
So I just keep
so much. I end up doing searches. I'll search.
I just keep everything in there. Every time, if somebody comments on something, blah, blah, but if Jesse Reagan posts, if Stephanie McDaniel posts, if Stephanie Kaufman posts, I am saving
video.
I am saving those into my, I don't necessarily have time to read them at the moment, but I just put them in my saved. And then when I have an extra 20 minutes or I have to drive in the car, I'll turn on one of their things and listen to them. Like today I was doing my bank account. And so I turned on his thing about descriptions, and I'm about to go finish cleaning bathrooms. And when I do that, I'm going to listen to the end of that hangout because I got 28 minutes into 20. No.
Okay. I'll find it and listen to it.
It's good. I think it helped me a lot.
In what way?
Well, it gave me, I'm going to stop recording.